Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Black Opinions Matter, motherfucker. My name is Amin El Hassan. I'm joined as always by Big Jerv. We got Mariana on the program today. Shout out to Mari. Shout out to Rap Names Podcast. If you're not subscribed, not listened to that, you're missing out. You got to definitely check that out every week. Mari and Jerv give us the goods from the music world. Let's see what we got going on today, fellas. We've got another episode of P Valley, another episode of Flatbush Misdemeanors. Shout out to Kareem Green, who joined us last week. By the way, if you missed that conversation, you definitely want to go back and check it out. He was hilarious. He roasted all of us. It was one of the best interviews I think we've done in the history of this show. And I think the last one I remember that was this good was Steven Jackson. That was way back. That was way back. So definitely check that out. Also check out the patreon.com/countthedings. That's where you get all the exclusive extra content, like the Overflow episodes where we reviewed P Valley last week, and we've been doing Westworld steady throughout. You want those Overflow episodes. You want those watch alongs. Me, Zach, and Anthony Mays. We rewatched Geely last week on the Patreon for the Overflow, actually on the Patreon for the watch along. So we do those. We're actually talking about doing another one coming up here soon. So definitely make sure you are tapped in to the Discord, to all the other different things that you get for being a Patreon. If you're already a Patreon, thank you very much. If you're not, what are you waiting for? All right, guys. Let's see what else happened. There's something else happened this week.
We had the point guys doc just dropped.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, on Showtime.
Yeah. Got a chance to check that out. I was to me that was great because they showed a lot of guys who don't really get, they're like not in the spotlight all the time, like the Kareem Reed and you got like it was just
Omar Cook and
absolutely. Andre Barrett, what I'm saying? Barrett. Like guys who if you know. Right. But to put it on a platform like that for people to go back and do their homework, it's like, okay.
How surprised were you that we didn't hear from, we didn't get a mention of Sebastian Telfair?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because like when you talk about the Marbury family,
right?
Bassie is right there, like, and I don't think you can really tell the story of like New York basketball, especially not that area, without him because he was one of them. My favorite moment from him was he was at the documentary and he's in the Rolly store. Like, yo, kid's like, a legend, man.
But it's wild because, he went straight to the pros out of high school.
He was on that cover with LeBron. That classic cover. Yeah. Yep.
And so this is a guy who, as a guard who wasn't that much taller than me, like 6 foot tall or whatever, to go make the leap from preps to pros. That was a big deal. Yeah. He had a documentary about him called Through the Fire. That was a bit that Mario just mentioned right there. That was a big deal. Look, I guess my thing is, I get it. Sometimes you can't get people involved. Sometimes they don't want to be involved, whatever. But you kind of have to mention him, even in passing, right? Like as one of the, he's probably, I'm trying to think of those guys. Oh, I guess Kemba Walker came after him. Was he the last great New York City high school point guard? Probably Kemba Walker.
Probably Kemba, but I think even still, like Sebastian was on the level. It was like
he was a number 2 player in the nation.
Yeah, like, it was different. Why you looking like that, Jerry? What's up, man?
Nah, I was just.
I know that look.
I had a flashback to my excellent group chat moment of the week pertaining to the sports point guy doc when I asked, did anyone else find it humorous that Marbury chose to use the language that he used? The kid was just like, oh man, this is funny.
Give up your chain before you give up the rock. And I was like, maybe that's not the one you bring up.
You might want to
I mean, run up on me at the light. You can look. We all know this. Yeah, we know the song. That was it was a pretty interesting choice of words.
Steve Francis also correct. Is my memory doing the same?
Steve Francis what? Lost
Steve Francis.
Steve Francis was in a very similar situation that Marbury was allegedly in, right? Yeah. Okay. New York was wild. Y'all New York niggas, y'all wild, dog.
Oh no, Steve Francis isn't from New York though. Steve Francis is from DC.
Yeah, but we don't.
But it happened in New York.
Yeah, y'all niggas is wild, dog. It would never happen to Iverson like that.
You know what's crazy? Lou Will in Philly, you know, somebody ran up on Lou Will, and he ended up being like, "Yo, you Lou,
my bad, it's Lou Will.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I can't do that." And then they ended up turning that into a positive situation right there. So hey,
and Knicks fans out here wondering why they can't sign big name free agents. Niggas ain't trying to lose their chain.
They getting robbed. Oh, I know what happened this week, man. Oh man, we had a bunch of shit. Y'all tripping, man. The Kevin Hart been on Channon Crowder podcast.
Oh shit, I forgot all about that.
That feels like it was 100 years ago now, man.
Bro, oh my God, man. That shit could have easily been another Kevin Hart like skit or sex something, because like he was really sitting there confused and baffled at times, and he was like, no, I heard what you said, but this nigga just said like,
no, he's like, my wife and I like to go to a nudist resort. It's like what's going on here? And he's like, well, nudist resort is like, no, nigga, I know what a nudist resort is. I'm trying to figure out what's happening with you.
So me and my wife go to a nudist colony, like once a year. We go to a nudist colony.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's
we go to a place where like you walk in, everybody just gets naked and walks around.
I heard you said.
I didn't know if you knew this.
No, I'm just asking you what's going on.
Okay, yeah. So we go to the nudist colony, and we just kind of go around. You got to shave everything and show out, and especially when you shave your shit, it looks bigger because you gain inches from no hair.
Back up for a second. I just want to get clarity. Y'all just hanging out, or y'all fucking these people? Like what's that?
No. There are swingers there. But you set the precedent.
I get
when
that.
You get there.
I don't know why you're not listening to me. I want to know, what do y'all get down, is what you're saying.
It's kind of the question, but we don't get down, but we just like to be around naked people together.
It's every time like Channon Crowder would try to explain something to him, Kevin Hart be like, no, I understand that part. It's dog. I know we've talked about this a million times. I can see how people get tired of Kevin Hart because he's everywhere, but I can't see why people say he's not funny, man.
No, he's
niggas just be hating. They just
Jerv, you number one hater.
No, I'm a Kevin Hart fan, bro.
No, you be hating.
Kevin Hart fan.
I'm like, he's from Philly though.
He's from Philly. That's Philly's own. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a Kevin Hart fan, bro.
Nah, Kevin's.
I don't fuck with all this. Like, I'm not trying to see, listen, I get him in
Right Along 3 or whatever.
Yeah, I get him in The Rock, or it's the dynamic duo, right? Like, I get it. Those movies aren't for me. You know what I mean? Like, he's not making that for me. He's not making that for niggas that want to laugh, like at real comedy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like stand-up wise, I think dude's dope as hell.
Or honestly,
we're just funny and just in general.
Yeah, like these situations, interviews and stuff like that. Like
that's where he excels in these conversations. Like that's why his show does well. You know, where he has everybody come through and sit in the cold tub with him. Yeah, like that show is good too because he gets them there for 12 or 13 minutes. It's jokes back and forth. He got his own shit going on. He's a funny guy, but this in particular was hilarious because the way he broke it down. Like I'll tell you this: if you're one of Kevin Hart's friends and you do something wild, you got to know that the way that he's going to tell that story, oh man, it's going to be so much worse than what it actually was. You don't want him to be the one telling your story, bro. Like, seriously, if you're one of his friends, as soon as you do something wild, go live and tell your own story first.
Let me ask you this, right? Do you think if you are a close friends with someone that I guess is considered one of the funniest people in America or whatever, right, or the world, and you grew up with that person, naturally as you grow up, you roast each other, right? Like, not saying you're on that person's level, but you're either suck or you've got to be semi good at like the back and forth, or at least with him, right?
Yeah,
you gotta be worthy of sparring at least. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just because I'm just thinking like you saying like his niggas gotta be worried. You mean more so him?
No. I'm talking about when the story gets told, not about him. Yeah. When the story comes,
not in the moment. It's like what he's gonna walk away with when he tells you the story.
You know that he's gonna tell the story in a very entertainer manner, and it's gonna be like, oh shit,
like it's the shit with his uncle.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, and then my uncle shows up like all day.
He talking about his pops getting change knocked out his pocket and shit. Like, bro,
like, oh, that's like. I'm sure there's elements of that that's very truthful, and then there's elements where like, yo,
where he threw the seasoning on it. Sprinkled a little seasoning on it. But that story was wild, man.
But you know what's funny? That's like the whole the Charlie Murphy Rick James story. Like that was the shit. Like I remember, like obviously we all watched the skit, we laughed, and shit was funny, and Rick James, like, yeah, I put my feet on the couch and all that shit was funny. But then I watched this interview with Eddie, and asked Eddie, yo, how like accurate is the story? And he said, yo, it's 100% accurate. Like that's exactly how it happened. He came in, he started cussing us out, calling us darkness, and then he put the feet on the couch, and so we beat his ass. Like that happened 100%. There was one, I don't know if y'all have ever remember they had like the lost tapes or whatever, and it had all these outtakes and shit that didn't make the show.
Yeah.
Charlie told this story about this one comedian. Dude, wait, it was a comedian, it was a boxer. The boxer like fought in Vegas that night, got fucked up, and then he flew to LA and wanted to party with them. And they're like, bro, we barely know you, right? And so then their comedian buddy didn't know that he was a boxer or whatever, started talking shit, whatever, and basically got he hit that nigga. He flew up in the sky. It's one of the funniest stories ever, man. I was crying when I was listening to it. But like, absolutely, Mario, you're right. There's some people, their storytelling is a little too entertaining. You don't want your story told by them.
It's different. Like we all came up around these environments where, like, you know, something happened at the club the night before. You don't want him to be the dude to tell the story first, because by the time we get to you, we got 4 different versions already. You might have the truth, but
and your version's not as good as their version.
And that's what makes all the difference in the world, Jerv. If the first version we get is entertaining, and the guy, they'll put him on speakerphone, we gotta, yo, and then what do you do? And he said, what? Oh, yeah. And is that now when you tell your story, we like, oh, yeah, he lying. He fronting. Yeah. He just didn't want us to.
What did Denzel say? It's not what you know, is what you can prove.
Yeah, what can you prove, Jake? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Shout out to Denzel, man.
Yeah.
We're doing Denzel month on Cinephobe this month, so.
The GOAT, man. Yo, he him. Man. Denzel is him.
Yo.
I'm leaving here with something from around the way.
Yo, the funniest shit is when he fucking blows the smoke and
yeah.
That's always the funniest shit to me, man.
Denzel be having them moments, boy. Like you see it, you really understand it in these movies when you're like, yo, nobody else could have did that shit. Nobody else was doing that right there. Come on, like, what are we doing? It's him.
There's a text here from Jerv from Thursday. Yo, if this BK pastor shit is still a topic by next week, we should get some jokes on. Yo, sometimes it's just better to keep your mouth shut. Sometimes, like, hey,
most times,
just take that L, brother.
Yeah,
just take that L. You got robbed. It's kind of messed up. The moment this nigga came out, like, nah. Next thing you know, left and right, all these allegations of fraud, which of course, how can you be a pastor and get robbed for that much money on the spot? Like, that's you're clearly crooked as hell, man.
Did y'all see the video of him driving the car and he had like the craziest like chain and like?
I was just about to say, bro, like, he looked like Lil Baby in there.
He had Dapper Dan's like latest Gucci fucking fit on. Like, that shit was crazy.
And I think he was in a Phantom or something. He was in something crazy.
A drop top. He was in a drop top for sure.
Bro, like, what? Nah, come on.
Cats they want to get caught, man. Cats out here just want to get caught. I'm convinced. The way people be putting their stuff out, their own business out there in the street like that, like, you just want to get caught. You want to get caught.
Everybody's so eager to prove that they're actually doing what they said they're doing. It's like, bro, what happened to just fronting? Like, just front, bro. Like, go ahead. That's cool. That's how them rappers before was like getting it off. Just front a little bit. You don't gotta really look, I'm gonna go live and show you me catching a body so you know I did that. Like, where do you win? Where do you win in this? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I used to work for this nonprofit back in the day, and it was ran out of a black church, right? So it's myself. I think the head of the church was he was a bishop or something, right? So, you know, we all after hours and everybody.
Yo, how do these cats get these titles, by the way? What makes one man a bishop and this one a reverend and this one like
I just know pastors, dog. Like that's
okay,
all I know. I
pastor.
don't know how you be the bishop and then this, that, and the third. Like I just know the main person up there on the stage is just kicking the sermon. You know, I just always thought that was the pastor. So, but anyway, we in the mix, and we just all sitting down talking. It's like him, myself, a pastor who wasn't the head of the church, that which goes to your point. That's super weird. And then like I don't know, like the first lady of the church that wasn't related, you know, something. And we got on the topic of the difference between black churches and white black pastors and white pastors. Now I'm gonna be respectful of what they said about the white pastors because I know it's a very touchy subject. It's not my words, but he was like, you know what they do, right? That's the terrible shit. He said, you know, black church, you know, I mean, hey, listen, we might skim a little off the top.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? He said we might sleep with a couple people in the congregation, right? But that's basically where it stops. This man was pushing, I want to say it had to be a Benz or Beamer 645, the little small coupe thing or whatever. And this is probably not 90. This is probably 2003.
Yeah, looking real.
So whatever
cool.
whatever the latest two-seater that's in the mix that's fly,
yeah,
this man has. I'm like, so basically you just told me, my G.
Yeah.
That Benz outside. We just did a little scheming.
But here's how you know the scheme is coming, Jerv. When a nigga say, "Hey, listen," that's how you like. I'm telling you, when you know this, we all know this. If somebody, if you like, look,
that's real.
Hey, listen. Now, if he would have said with the baby, hey, listen, baby, you like, oh yeah, he did whatever. Then hey, listen.
And the pastor was hold up. Oh God, this church.
It gets better.
Look, and the pastor, the dude that was like second in charge or whatever. I was cool with his sons. They've had a falling out because he had this stripper that he was dating all of a sudden out of nowhere, living with him. And then they start telling me all his dirt, how he be making like, yo, these niggas is wild. Dog. He was like, yo, they dip and dab, you know what I'm saying?
Dipping
like,
and dabbing.
I don't want to.
It's levels. Like it's levels, man. He like, look, we might dabble in a little bit of this, but we ain't doing that. Come on, most I'm gonna do is probably a little scamming. You know what I'm saying? Like a little, whatever. Yeah, that's nah.
We don't have all these. We don't pass this plate around 16 times in the
funny.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is what I love, man. Where it's like, come on, man. It ain't like as if we're supposed to be like, man, you got a point. You only skimmed a little bit of the money.
and knocked off a couple people in your congregation because clearly that's what you said y'all do also.
Oh, you see the video of the other day of like the dude snapping the girls' asses? Y'all ain't seen this one?
Oh, I saw it.
Like he had them all like they in their church clothes, they all bent over. And he's like instructing like how to please your man, like in the church. Though he just slapping ass.
That's damn near how I used to be on what's the joint? Family Feud. My man used to be walking up, putting his tongue all down the joint. That's damn near how that was back then. He was getting busy, like right there, right after the applause, the golf claps. He was like, "Yo, nah, come here real quick. Let me see what's going on."
Hey man, listen, that was the 70s. That was a wild time. You know what I'm saying?
Soft kisses too, man.
Essential. Them kisses where you put a little like one of them. Like, damn, hold on, my boy.
Right on the lips, right in front of their
right there. Then step right to the husband, dap him up. All right, what's going on, bro?
What's the Jay-Z line? I did right there and right in front of your bitch. Hey, dog, what's the difference between
what's the between a 4.0 and a 4.6?
There's a whole line for everything, man.
Like 30 to 40 grand, cocksucker, beat it. Bro, I know every ad lib from that song. That's probably the greatest shit talking ad lib shit ever heard.
You know the best ad lib from that song, Dick Rider.
Talking about even before Rockefeller. Rockefeller.
Yeah.
He said you probably hop on my dick right there, right there.
That's so crazy. You're not crazy of a statement that is. You will probably hop on my dick. Like he giving you the benefit of the doubt, but you still look like the type. Like, nah, you will probably do that right there too. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just thought about that. I just thought about that Jordan shit.
Yeah. Oh man.
What Jordan shit?
Come on, bro.
Dog.
Oh,
The meme. No, the meme. The meme that said this.
Shit that got me.
You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny?
Right there.
Every time, like, what's funny about that is now seeing the original picture after that is even more funny because I can't unsee it now. Like, you just can't. Once you know, it's one of them. It's definitely one of them.
They banned me from the chat and then they stripped me of my admin privileges.
For sending that? Oh man!
But you know what? Worth it.
Yeah, it is
every time.
This is where I was killed. I was like, y'all niggas are more upset that it's Jordan than it's
yeah.
Like, that was the shit that really upset them. It's like, hey man, you can't do that to Mike. I'm like,
that's crazy. The fact that was the kicker.
That's the line. Yeah. That's the line right there. You can't do that to Mike. Oh man, good times. Yo, all right. So P Valley and Flatbush Misdemeanor. Let's do P Valley first because I want to end on a high note.
Thank you.
P Valley, man. I'm just like, what's happening here, man?
Yeah.
Did you know they were Bloods? Did we know that already?
No, they're not. They don't ever identify them.
Yeah,
as
of
such.
course not. But they have to be, right? Like,
yeah, they were red and their rivals were blue. The difference is like they were red and green and the rivals were blue and gold. So I don't know what that is. But it's, I guess, whatever, some fictional Mississippi gang shit, whatever. But then my man from the episode where he got his ass whooped goes on live and says, yeah, we killed. I'm like, why would you do that, man?
It's more common than you think.
It had the audacity to be shocked and surprised when it came back. Like, hey man, I was just joking. They made you do that.
I was like,
yeah,
what?
and they said, I don't want no problem. They said, I don't know about that, my boy. It looked like that's exactly what you want as a problem. What do you mean? Like, you don't want a problem.
My nigga Lil Murder had the Tommy gun and everything too.
Yeah. He shot him.
He had the shit. Bro,
he was right up on him.
Bro, listen, Lil Murder had the shit they was shooting at Dick Tracy with, bro. Like he had the shit with the joint. One of them.
That's the Tommy gun,
bro.
That's the Tommy gun.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. Like there was, that was ill because he telling him about his family and shit. And it's like, how many times we gotta hit like, bro? You should have thought about that. You should have thought about that before. You know my mom, man.
Unnecessary, man. Unnecessary. But like, do you hear his reasoning? Like his reasoning was because they've been clowning me ever since he do with my ass. I'm like, that's why you did it? Come on, man.
You got your ass whooped and you was willing to go do life about it. Like that's hustling backwards because like I said, where do you win, bro? I don't know. I don't get it. But you should have knew. As soon as they saw him like walk off by himself, I was like, yeah, this can't end well. It can't.
Meanwhile, Keyshawn's husband buy her some shoes. It's a size too small, and the nigga freak out. I was like, so did you not keep the receipt? Like, what's happening here? What's going on here? Did he suck a dick for them shoes? Like, why? Bruh. He went nuts because the size, a half size.
You went out there and gave some top for a gift, and then you got the wrong shit like that. Because what's the return policy?
There is no return.
That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta just literally you gotta eat that. Like that's
literally.
Yeah,
you got to be like my man from the Michael Shea show. You sucked off a genie. Like
he said, no, I didn't.
Why's your tongue all blue then? Genie, I command you to kill them all. All right, you know what you got to do then.
Bro, listen, I got to go back and that shit has so much like rewatchable content, man. Shout out to Michael Che, man. God damn.
I don't know why that show doesn't blow up, man.
Yeah, that shit is incredible. But
niggas don't fuck with Michael Che.
The fucking one of the funniest parts of this episode to me was when they caught what's her name? Mercedes, her mom. They caught her out there. You know, she talking in the street.
Oh,
she was
Pastor
like,
Woodbine.
Yeah, she talking about like, yo, like, I did my thing. Yeah, I've been out here. They like, damn.
I was like, damn.
Bro, she said these streets know my knees, but them people know my soul. Like, yo,
my knees is a wild, wild way to reveal that you have sucked a lot of dick in your life. Yeah. The streets know my knees. The streets. The streets.
I'm trying to write this down, but I can't stop laughing. That's fucking a wild ass thing for your pastor to tell you shit, dog.
Yeah, the streets know my knees.
But the people know my soul, of course.
Oh my God, I can't believe that there's a world where she's winning an election.
I can. It's in Chucalissa, Mississippi, whatever it's called. That's the world that she wins this shit.
How about my man? His dad is in prison for murder. He thought no one was gonna find out.
Hello,
nigga had the FUBU shirt on. Office, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I mean, shit like that is not gonna. They know everything, bro. They know about everything.
It's not that hard to look up. Is that they don't even have a different last name because last name is literally the same last name.
There's a nigga out here, a junior, like, oh, they'll never know. Swept this one under the rug.
Hey, sorry, I told the story before. I'm gonna tell it again though. I remember when I was scouting, we were having like a scout meeting. We were watching film of Wes Matthews Jr. Right? He was at what's he at Marquette? Yeah, he was at Marquette. And so we're watching and one of the scouts said, "Yeah, but I like him. He's tough and he's a good defensive player. I think the shot's gonna get better." Blah 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 blah. And then he says, "It doesn't hurt that he has the bloodline. It's like that his dad played in the league." And one of the other scouts said, "Oh yeah, who's his dad?" His name is Wes Matthews Jr.
Come on,
I'll give you 3 guesses of who his dad is.
That's like those Instagram reels that the homie does where he asks like the simplest question, but niggas don't even listen. They just like, give me the last 3. The last 2 letters in alphabet, and niggas go YZ, and he's just looking like, come on, bro.
It's like one of the oldest tricks in the book when you like, you know how to spell, this word, and they're like, yeah, you spell it, and then you spell the word, and they're like, nah, I said spell it. Like, it's like one of them type of
dumbass.
A plane crashed in the border between 2 countries. Where were the survivors buried? And like, well, half of them are gonna be buried. I was like, no, nigga. I said, where are the survivors buried?
Right.
Yeah, no, it was one of those things. But yeah, I was thinking about that with my man. Like, he thought no one would find out. Old girl turned down the $5 million at one more time from the old white lady in the salon.
Bro, listen, the funniest shit about that is she told her, this is a deep cut reference going back to Martin. She said, yo, Shanae's beauty shop.
Yes.
Dog, that's the most racist name you can fucking come
bro, Shanae? She said, no, I think I'm right here. And then Shorty had the little Coke cans and shit. Yeah.
Do they do this shit? I'm not as,
man,
I don't know.
When I saw that shit, I had to remind myself that this wasn't set back in like 40 years ago or some shit, because I don't know if that's what's going on. Like, maybe.
Coke can, like they Coke cans for curlers, that's a thing. That's the thing.
That's pretty wild, man. But yeah, nah, she not backing down off that shit, man. She want that 10. You know what I mean? She negotiates. She might can get that shit from the Knicks. They give you, I mean, whatever. But
win some extra shit.
yeah.
Let's be real. We know how this ends for her. She doesn't get the 10. Like she doesn't get the 10. She does too much, and somehow, some way, at the end of the season, the fucking pink will be back on the market somehow, some way. She's gonna get white people, 100%. She's gonna get white people. She's going to get some sort of clause in her contract that she clearly didn't read, or some shit, and they gonna hit her with the, see, I told you should have had your lawyer with you. Like one of them fucking lines.
The old lady made a great point. I was like, she said, yo, they're going to do a referendum. If the casino gets voted down, your land ain't worth shit at that point. So you just take the 5 and like be going with it. And I'm like, you know what, man? It reminds me, the dude that invented Snapchat, apparently, like, once the Instagram offered to buy it for like $3 billion or it was $2 billion. And he turned it down. So why? I said, because this is a $6 billion property. I'm like, what can you do with $6 billion that you can't do with $2 billion?
How much money do you have to split hairs between billions? First of all,
Real,
like how
bro,
much money do you have to already have where you're like, nah, I think I'm gonna hold out for 6. I know that's $2 billion. That's like literally life changing money for the rest of the time that my name is out, like down the line, down every line. But yeah, I'm. Yeah.
If you sold something for $2 billion, how ignorant would you be on the next podcast that you do, assuming that you do the podcast?
We don't even have to think about like sold something. We just had the Mega Millions hit $1 billion.
Right.
Someone won it though. Damn, man. I was like, fuck, man. That was supposed to be.
I was mad as shit. That was supposed to be me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I get my feelings about it.
If I sold some shit for $2 billion right now, the next time it's gonna be somewhere where you can't hear me. The connection is gonna be fucked up because I'm gonna be somewhere.
I wish you
with
wish a nigga
trees
would
around.
tell you.
Bro,
listen. Wish a nigga would tell you to connect
No.
microphone.
Not wish a nigga would. I hope a nigga tell me that the mic is fucked up. So I'm gonna say, you know what ain't fucked up? My bank account, nigga. You hear this shit? This is what money sound like.
It's funny because I think it's different, right? Like if you win in the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody. No one would know. Doug, no, y'all wouldn't know. I would just keep showing up, but I would start skipping days.
Oh, we'd know. We'd have to know. Legally, they have. If you had over a certain amount, legally, they gotta put. Yeah, they gotta put you out there. Legally.
No, they don't.
Somebody has to come forward for it.
Yeah, but like you can remain anonymous. Like you're not showing up to the headquarters or shit. Like, hi guys, just picking up my money. Like they could do that shit anonymous. So I would do that anonymous. I wouldn't want anyone to know. There'd be little hints. Like, man, you went to Hawaii, you took the whole family? Yeah, like I just figured we needed a break or whatever. Like you'll little things like that. But
or it's like, Amin, you got your whole face on the chain right there. I stopped. Like, that's okay. Where did you have that laying around the crib? Like, all right, cool.
No, that's just something
something light. Yeah, you gotta call it something light. Yeah.
the nigga will click the link and be like, tell his family in the background, quiet down, y'all. This broke nigga.
Yeah. Or you know what you're gonna do? You know what you're gonna do? Keep asking us like, wait, could you say that again? Like, I don't understand the language of people who show up, turn the mace up. You know what I'm saying?
With your broke ass.
Hide the money, y'all. No, like if I won the lottery, I'd keep it quiet. Now, if I sold something for $2 billion, I think I'd have to stunt. Because like it's not that you have $2 billion. Is that you created something that you sold for $2 billion. That's what it is. It's like, I want you to know how I got this money. It wasn't luck. It wasn't inheritance. I made some shit that was so hot. Some company said, here's billions of dollars. Yeah, I think I would definitely make an announcement of some sort. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what I would do though, man.
You got to get a billboard like BMF. Like you got to get a billboard somewhere. I don't know whether it's Arizona, whether it's wherever it is, wherever
I'll tell you where
I know what you should do.
What? What?
You should get a billboard with a middle finger.
Oh.
Right.
I thought you
were
right
on that little street. Right on that street.
I thought you would say like that Michael Jordan meme.
Oh no.
Yo, bro.
That would be hilarious.
Right across from ESPN.
Right on that block, right outside the gate, so everybody
Middle Street or whatever. Yeah. Middle Street, yeah.
Every day niggas gotta try back.
Welcome to the worldwide leader, Dick Ryder.
Dick Ryder. You probably hop on my dick right there in front of your coworkers.
Yo.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't know why that's up. The child is. Anytime we go into those type of the childish part of me just comes out, bro. Like it's something about that. It just makes me.
It's one of the funniest shits I've ever seen, man. I don't give a shit what nobody say. All right, let's wrap this up with a little Flatbush misdemeanor. Dan's mom and dad break up because and the funniest shit is because they broke up because she was so impressed by him taking moral inventory that she decided to do for herself, but she did it wrong. She's like, the fact that she kept repeating, I'm taking accountability for myself. I was dying. Every time she said it, I laughed a little bit harder every time. Meanwhile, Kareem upset because he basically blamed Dan. He said, I'm no longer your father. You are an orphan.
Nigga said, you just
and fired
yourself.
that nigga.
Yo, no,
he made his man fire him.
yeah, my bad. They can't.
Hey, I'm about to promote you. You assistant manager. This was like the wash when he was like, "Yo, you got your man over there stealing. Like, what's going on? You gotta, you know what I mean? Right when he promoted, what's his name, Sean, got promoted and shit.
Yeah.
So this was just like that, promoting you, your first order of business.
I never saw the wash.
Oh man.
That's the Snoop Dogg. That's the Snoop Dogg shit.
Yeah, that shit is.
That was one of those. That was one of those straight to DVD Jones, right? Like that wasn't in no theater.
Classic.
Had a fire soundtrack though.
Of course it did. Had to get something right.
No, when he said, "Yo, ain't this some Luke Skywalker shit?" and Dan's like, actually, in the movie, the dad is the bad guy.
Yeah.
And he started going out. I was like, "Yo, I feel like you're really acting out. What do you want me to do? Act in?"
Yeah, he went crazy. He went crazy on that episode, man. He even told what's his man, Kev. He said, "Yo, like, why you ain't told me that before I bought the shirt? Like, bro, I spent $12 on this shit. Like, come on, man. Shirt was hard, so I need one of those."
And then the fact
they should sell them shit.
He's like, do your painting here. You get paid while you paint. And then he hugged him because my man's sad as shit because his wife left him. Meanwhile, Zaina and her uncle Drew go to visit her pops. So we find out her pops is Sticky Fingers.
Sticky Fingers. Shout out to Sticky Fingers, man. Yeah.
And Sticky does not approve of her having a boyfriend. So
he tried to get PC real quick. He was like, a boyfriend? He was like, well, maybe things will just work themselves out. Like, he was just like, all right.
Now, that was him looking at Drew like, you better work out.
Hey, dog, figure this shit out, bro.
Yeah. That's basically what that was.
Drew was burning him the whole time too. Niggas like, yo, you went to reach for Dab? He said, fuck out of here. Like, yo, he was killing him the whole time, dog.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah, Drew's a legend, man. Drew is a super legend. Like, what? He's the man. He's probably like, even when he came around the corner and he saw Kelly, like, this nigga. Like that, like there's an element.
Yo, instantly, as soon as he saw
him, yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I love about this show the most is that I always say this about shows. When they have black people on the shows, they don't make them just be black. Yeah, money grip with they don't make them do that. Like just regular black people. You know what I'm saying? This show does a great job of that because we've all heard. We've all heard that and we've all said that, and we know that there's different levels to like this nigga. Like you be like this nigga, you know what I mean? Or like this nigga. Like it's all type of levels. They got the perfect one right there. So that was amazing.
You just got
like
it just I'm so annoyed that I even see
like, bro, like so much shit going on now. This nigga, okay, cool. Like what's going on?
Yo, am I the only one to think that Dan was tripping though? For he's not. Dan's not supposed to be telling people he ratted, right? Like he's
no, but like he's trying to do like the right thing
bro.
or whatever.
I hear you. Admitting to ratting. Never ratting is not the right thing.
I'm not telling you I would have done it. I'm not telling you I would have done it like that. I'm just saying I think that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to
Kev basically hit him with a this nigga too.
Yeah. and honestly, this season they've been kind of building up to that moment. Like every time they have like a little conversation, there's always something passive aggressive or something where you like, hey, what's up? That was the moment where it was like, oh my God. But you see, no matter how mad Kev got, he came back and got his beer. That's real shit.
He walked
off and then he walked back and go, hey, nigga ain't that mad now. I need that. I'm gonna finish the rest of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just too funny. Well, fuck, man. This is a quick one. I know most of y'all follow Trey online on Twitter or Instagram. You know, he's dealing with some stuff with what happened to his mother. So again, everyone, I hope you guys keep Trey and his family in your thoughts and prayers. Hopefully his mom's going to be okay. Like I said last week on the overflow, I don't want to talk about it too much because Trey's not here. When Trey comes back, I imagine he'll be willing to share. But until then, just everybody keep Trey and his family in your thoughts. And I think that's an episode for us. Shout out to Jerv and Mari for joining me. Remember, patreon.com/countthedings for the overflows, for the watch-alongs, for all the extra content. We got some more extra content coming very, very soon for you guys. And for you, the listener, thank you very much. And remember, stay black, motherfuckers.